let's bring in our guy, our all-star closer. Ryan Helsley joins us right now on FT Live. Ryan, great to see you. Where you at? Give us the where in the world right now.
We're in Seattle. We just started a long
I don't hear him.
11-game road trip.
11 games.
Nice. I remember those
10,
days.
maybe. I can't count. Maybe it's 10.
Maybe it's only 10? 11 would be a weird number, but maybe 11 days, 10 games.
Yeah.
Where else do y'all go? Seattle and where else?
San Fran and LA Dodgers.
Is that how you woke up like that? Because I know it's still early over there, man.
Yeah, I'm still stuck on Central Standard Time, man. I woke up like 8 o'clock.
Oh, it's the worst. And then you get used to it the last 2 games of the series, and then you got to go back home, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, good stuff, man. Good stuff. We've been talking about the Scherzer topic a lot here. I want to ask you about this. Rosin. I feel like every pitcher uses it. Do you use it? Are you one of those rosin guys? Do you need it? I mean, is there something specific you've seen on this topic where it's like a little out of hand? Like, what are your thoughts about this whole situation?
Yeah, I definitely use it, but there's not much time to go to it anymore. You know, you're so sped up by the pitch clock, you really don't have time. Especially on hotter days, you really need it out there. You know, you're not trying to hit anybody or let one sail up and in, so you're really trying to dry your hands off as much as you can. And yeah, I don't know. The topic's crazy right now. I mean, I feel like it's a super gray area, and I feel like guys obviously aren't trying to cheat, but you know, from what I hear from Scherzer, he wasn't trying to do anything wrong either. But you know, I mean, I definitely think there needs to be some clearing up going on.
Yeah, because I remember when I played, it was funny because you would see somebody, they'd have a little red stuff on the side of their pants, they'd have stuff on their hat, and you know, it was kind of frowned upon, but at the same time, it was like, hey, you know, who's going to be the one that's going to say something? You know, who's going to be that jackass to say something? But the focus here, it's like, it seems like it's the same thing over and over. You got umpires that barely touch the hand. You got umpires who were thorough with it. So what do you think MLB has to do to kind of crack this down? I mean, have you guys been talking about this in the clubhouse?
A little bit, you know. I mean, there definitely needs to be something going on that way it's consistent throughout. Like I said, I don't think most guys are trying to treat now. You know, they're trying to make the game as fair as possible. Yeah, I mean, I don't know the answer to that. I have to do some more digging into that and maybe talk to our player reps some and see what the right train action is for that.
Yeah, well, we want to hear your opinion on it. So that's why we have you. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. So something I've been doing, and I've gotten some slack from it. All right, it's kind of like trying to get to know your teammates. But my question has kind of gotten a few guys like stumped. So I don't want to stump y'all, make it easier for you since you're a pitcher. This is what we need to know. Okay, you got 3 teammates to choose from on your team, not ex-teammates, not anybody from Northeastern University State, at junior college, Division III, whatever. You got to strike. What are your teammates each? You got to strike one out. You got to hit one, and then one's got to go deep off you. Which of the 3 are you talking? Which are you let happen?
Oh, let happen or the best chance of those happening?
No, either way.
I'm hitting Andrew Kisner. For sure. Put one right in his ribs. Which is always fun to say. No, he's a great team. Hitting a homer, I mean, I don't know. Goldie or Nolan's probably the obvious choice.
But you're going to let them hit a homer, or they're probably going to hit a homer?
I mean, I'm saying the best chance in my mind. I'm not letting anybody hit a homer, you know?
Okay, that's fair. I like that.
And then what was your last one? Strike one out?
Strike one out. Who would you love to strike out?
Nootbaar for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah, we faced each other last spring training, and he hit about a 12 hopper through the 6 hole. We had a shift, and he tells me all the time he's got like a 2,000 OPS or whatever, and he's 1 for 1, yada yada yada. So I definitely expect him.
So would you step on it then? Like would you finish him? Would you finish him with 104? Step on it and like do like a like what would be your thing when you would get Nootbaar?
Yeah, I definitely chirped something at him. You know, I gave him crap for leaving this year for the WBC and told him he was scared. But obviously he had a great WBC and, you know, had a great time doing that. And but, yeah, that'd be a fun at-bat. You know, he's one of my good friends on the team, and, you know, it'd be fun.
Hey, talking about chirping and yelling at people, we saw Bumgarner and Contreras the other day. I know you were probably in the outfield by that time, I would assume?
I think I was actually walking to the bullpen. I usually get out there in the 4th inning, and I think that's when it was. And
I saw that. One question is, for you about that. Did you hear anything from Contreras afterwards? What are your thoughts on it? And have you ever thrown a pitch like that, seen a guy kind of take a grunt on a swing? Have you ever been like, yo, dog, who are you looking at? What's up? Have you ever done that before? Because I feel you're a mellow guy, but I feel like if I took a swing and kind of like gave you one of these, like throw me another one, I feel like you would come back at me a little bit, no?
Yeah, just playing Contreras, the past 4 years and him being in Chicago, you can kind of see that fire in him. And, even in spring training, a couple outbursts. And, you can see the fire. He really cares. He loves the game. He's very passionate. And, I saw him do that. And that guy loves the game. He wants to win. He's out there giving it his all. And I don't know, me personally, I don't think I've ever had that happen. I'm sure if somebody said something, it might trigger something. But like you said, I'm a pretty laid-back guy. It might take a lot from me. I'm kind of locked up in the moment. I'm not really worried about the hitter's reaction most of the time.
Well, let me ask you this. What would trigger you? Because I got to tell my cronies on the other teams here who would get you fired up. You going to let me know or not?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. We have to be in the moment type thing.
I got you. Make fun of your hair or something. I'll figure something out. The more I look at you, I'll find out.
He throws 100. You throw 105 miles an hour. You don't really have to flex on anybody. You're just like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just throw it by you. Like that's the thing. But if something had gone down there with Bumgarner and Contreras, obviously you got your boys back. You're obviously thinking in your mind, you're like, man, I remember how Wilson was when he used to play for the Cubs, and so I'm like, so you'd let them fight it out. But who on the Cubs would you have had to take care of? Or are you a guy in fights? Or are you like holding your own teammates back? What's your style in the bench clearing? And it's a long run. Don't pull a hammy running in from the bullpen.
Yeah, I'm usually out of breath by the time I get there, and it's just usually settled down, man. We usually don't run that hard during the season, and like you said, it's a long run to get out there, and it's usually just tripping when you get out there, and guys are usually calmed down by then. Thankfully I haven't been a part of a nasty brawl, yet, and but yeah, those things can get pretty crazy pretty quick.
Ryan, do you think that in baseball we still have like this weird thing where hitters will try and tell a pitcher he's soft if he's not throwing his fastball enough? You know what I'm saying? Where sometimes guys in the dugout will be like,
that was me.
tell him, Top Father.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, I get it though. I mean, I like my fastball, so I like to challenge guys with it. But I mean, I definitely see where they're coming from. I know if I was hitting, I'd want something a little easier to hit too, man. These guys these days come out of bullpens throwing, pitches like I've never seen before, sweepers and stuff, at 88, moving all the way across the plate and stuff. So, I mean, these hitters are crazy good. You see guys paint a pitch or make the perfect pitch and guys still lace it, or, I mean, baseball's a funny game. You can make your worst pitch and still get it out. So, I mean, it's just the way the game is.
We go over this a lot here in the foul territory about Hall of Famers. Looking at your team, how many Hall of Famers you think you got in your team? And we'll go from there. How many Hall of Famers you think right now in your squad do you think you got?
I mean, I think 3 for sure, easily. I mean, I think Nolan and Goldie are locks, and I think Bueno's kind of teetering. I think he's right there. Could be. Well, I mean, Jordan Walker could be. He's 20 years old, hitting 300 right now. And Nolan Gorman's having a crazy start to this year, and he's only 22. So we definitely got a lot of young guys too as well that could have long, great careers.
You brought up Jordan Walker. What would you have been able to get him out here in that hot stretch? What was it, 12, 13 games to start his career? Would you have been able to get him out?
I think so. I mean, I like to think I could get anybody out at any time. I feel like the kind of mindset you got to have as a back end guy or pitching in general. You can't be out there pitching scared, but whoever's in the box, I feel like you got to have that mentality. You can get them out no matter what kind of streak they're in.
Ryan, give us more on Jordan now that you guys are getting to spend some time with him. Have there been any moments where you're like, okay, like whether it's something that he's into, did he have a heated moment? Not necessarily on the field, where even if he's just passionate about something, like, what really grinds my gears? Just anything about Jordan Walker that we can get to know, because he just seems like so nice, appreciative, happy to be here, just knock per day. What's he like, though?
No, he really is. I mean, what you kind of see right there, what you said, is kind of how he is. He's a quiet, humble kid, super nice guy, works hard, obviously, and gets in early and gets his work done. I mean, he's a great guy. I mean, I haven't really got to talk to him much. Obviously, hitters and pitchers are kind of on their own schedules most of the time, and watching film at different times like that or hitting BP or whatever. But he's a great teammate, and got a lot of potential, and hopefully get to know him better throughout the season.
Now, we talked about rookies and like kind of getting them into the fold and everything. You guys took a long flight. You landed. Who's the bus? Who's on the mic for the Cardinals right now? That is I love whoever's on the mic, and I want to hear who's on it, and maybe like a little snippet. Like this is just to hear what we can hear.
Yeah. So usually it's Bueno, but he was on his rehab start, and Miles was on it this time, and usually, like you said, you land and guys come up and sing or tell a story or get asked questions or whatever. And usually it's like the rookies, obviously the younger guys, and they'll make them sing a song. And Walker actually killed his. I forgot what song it was, but it was a rap song, and he rapped every lyric for like a minute straight and got the bus going crazy. So he crushed it on that. And that was a fun moment right there.
Nice. And who's better, Bueno or Miles? Because we have them both on here, so.
Yeah, probably Bueno. I feel like he's done it longer. People respect him because he's Bueno. Not that they don't respect Miles, but Bueno's Bueno. He's kind of like that Mount Rushmore type of Cardinals player and baseball player. And when he's on the mic, he makes it fun and gets the bus pretty rowdy.
What's his style? Is his style like is he a radio DJ? Like this is the whole like on the mic thing. Just to explain it to fans, like every road trip, you usually hop on the mic after the flight. And somebody's on the mic for 20, 30 minutes calling guys up. I've seen guys, WFAN here in Seattle, on the microphone throughout the whole bus. But what's his style? What's Bueno's style if he's the OG there?
Yeah, he'll usually text out in the group chat, like say the hotline's open, and everybody will text in like, Kangaroo Court fines, like what's somebody done dumb in the past week, and call them out, and then you either plead guilty, you get to come up and kind of plead your case as well. And then, that gets pretty funny too. Guys try to defend themselves or whatever it may be. And then, like you said, we have guys singing or, telling jokes, whatever he feels like telling them to do, honestly. He's in control, and, being a young guy, you kind of got to do what they got to say. And then if you don't, everybody will scream at you to go to the back of the bus and, get in the bathroom and sit there until you're told to come out.
Hey, who had the last Kangaroo Court there? If you can tell us who got in trouble last.
It was last year. We haven't done it yet this year. We just made guys sing this year, and I honestly can't remember, but they're hilarious. Guys trying to get up there and they start stuttering, and you got 25 guys yelling at you, and it gets pretty heated. It's a fun environment to be in.
Exactly. You can kind of get. I remember the first time I had to sing my alma mater. Man, it was. I enjoyed it. There's some guys who are real nervous about it. Now I want to ask you a question about yourself a little bit. So I'm a big card collector, as we know on this show. Is there a hobby of yours? Are you a card collector? What's some kind of hobbies that you like doing, away from baseball?
Yeah, I like to hunt and fish a lot. I'm an outdoors kind of guy, small town kid, so I kind of grew up doing that kind of stuff. But since I got to the big leagues, I've gotten into, getting some jerseys signed, and, especially guys like Yadier, Bueno, and Albert, and I've got one from Nolan and Goldie. Got a couple bats from, those guys too, and Bueno actually gave me his bat. I got hit with it in my first big league game, one of his bats, and he signed it for me, so that was really cool. I also got a few baseballs from the All-Star game last year from guys, and I got a Kershaw jersey as well. That was pretty cool. I got to ask him for it, and that was a pretty cool moment to ask one of the all-time greats, especially to get his signature.
Ryan, I'm going to rip a few fan questions with you, but I have one that's not in this current live chat right now that I've been seeing circulating. Is Lars Nootbaar, your boy, the most famous St. Louis Cardinal worldwide right now?
No doubt, dude. Me and him, last year we had roughly the same amount of followers on Instagram. He was beating me by like 1,000 or 2,000, and he'd give me crap here and there. He's like, "You're never going to catch me," and then he was gone for a week. He was up to like 650. He's like, "Bro, you got no shot now." Now he's over 1 million. And I mean, it's crazy how how much starstruck he's got, and he just went straight to the moon with it all. And it's been insane to see and follow.
You got to do the IG collab with him. You know about how that works?
Yeah, I'm about to get him to start posting me some more or something, hyping me up a little bit.
Yeah, I got some tips. I'll give you after. Wait, let me get a few fan questions in here. So Lorenzo says, who has a better glove, Arenado or Goldschmidt?
I think Arenado, but goalie's a beast over there. You know, he definitely helps Nolan out sometimes, and you know, just to watch Nolan night in and night out, man, it's insane. He's literally a robot. Both of them are. I'll tell him all the time, you guys are robots, man. You guys make it look so easy, and you know, just less thinking out there on the field. You know, it's just all reaction, and you know, those guys take care of business and have obviously been some of the game's greatest players for the last 10 years. You know, and it's fun to watch and really fun to be a part of.
This one from Jay. If you were to play for any other team, which team would you love to play for?
I don't know. That's a tough one. I've honestly never.
Who was your squad growing up?
It was St. Louis. I mean, they're my favorite team. Yeah, I went to St. Louis games, Royals, and the Rangers. They were all kind of the same distance away from home. But I grew up playing a lot of sports, so I wasn't really too bought into Major League Baseball at the time, and didn't really follow it closely.
Okay, then I can help this out and be a little bit of the PC answer, but give me a team that you'd want to play for in any sport.
In any sport?
Because you said you played other sports, so did you want
to
be
I played football and basketball as well. I was a big Kobe fan growing up. Obviously, I'm not tall enough to play in the NBA. I'm only like 6'2", so that would have never worked out. Football-wise, I'm kind of a Dallas Cowboys fan, so I guess I'd pick them. Getting to play in Dallas, live in Dallas, and play in Jerry's World, I think that'd be pretty cool.
And a couple more. What sounds better when throwing 105? Mitt popping or crowd grasping?
Probably the mitt popping. I mean, it's a different kind of sound. I'm not really paying attention to it much out there. You know, sometimes you just kind of feel it like, oh, that one came out a little harder. You know, you give a glance to the board up there, and you know, not every day is that well, but you know, you can definitely tell those days when the ball's coming out a little harder.
Also, Kratzy, don't call me out. I meant gasping. Don't try and correct me.
Oh, no, I knew what you meant. It's okay. You're reading off the fans. I wasn't.
The font's too small.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but like 105, you're going through the mitt. Do you guys ever give Hicksy any problems? Because he knocked Contreras out of the game with his 105 to his kneecap, and he also knocked, I won't say what it was, of Yadier Molina's with another 105 pitch. So do you guys give Hicksy any problems? Like, he's knocking more Cardinals out of games than he is other teams out of games?
No, I mean, that dude's stuff's insane. You know, he's throwing 105, and it moves like a wiffle ball, literally at 100+ miles an hour every time. And then he's got a nasty slider at 90 going the other way, you know. So I'd hate to be a catcher, man. What those guys do is insane. I mean, I play catch them every day, and it's obviously not 100%. And I can't imagine what it looks like, you know, being 60 feet away and this dude max effort every time.
Ryan, another fan question here from Robert. And I know we talked about the song itself, but want to focus more on the light show aspect. So he said, how much does Helsley love entering to Hell's Bells? The stadium is electric when it happens. Sick light show. I mean, we've seen this really pick up over the past year, where if you're somewhat of a firm closer on a ball club, you're going to get a whole song and dance when you enter, and the fan experience is heightened. It just makes the game cool. I know you've talked about, you feel pumped up about it, but what have you thought about how that works with you and with other closers? We're seeing it now. It's not just Edwin Diaz, Jordan Romano. I think we see it with who? Even a non-closer like Andres Munoz, he closes sometimes, but not all the time. So I think it's awesome, and it highlights you guys more.
Yeah, it's really cool, you know. I mean, bullpens don't really get much love, but we're able to get that in the back end of the game, you know, kind of lock the fans in some more and, you know, really hype up that ninth inning moment, you know, coming in to close the game. And, you know, most places, like you said, are shutting the lights off or doing something with the music. So it's really cool and definitely gets, you know, the stadium rocking. And it's definitely a place you want to be, you know, in the ninth inning and, you know, have that ball and have the opportunity to go out there.
Hey, what? Go ahead, Kratzy.
I'm a butt in with your walkout song. What other aspect in life would you wish you had a walkout song to? Like, what would it be sick if you were like you just downed this monster elk on a hunt and you had Hell's Bells, like, you know, it just hits as you're like walking through the woods at 6:30 in the morning and this thing's dead. What else in life would you like a walk-up song to?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess you could do something like that. That's a good question. I've never really thought about that. I don't know,
Think about
maybe a walk-up song when you're about to go max out on a squat or a deadlift or something. I mean, hype yourself up a little bit too.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Ryan, what's your message right now to Cardinals fans who don't realize that the season is 162 games and you're only a few games under 500, and really some people that are freaking out about the Pirates probably are going to check the calendar in August or September and go, oh yeah, this is a normal season.
Yeah, I mean, this is my 5th year, and at some point, like you said, it's 162 games. You're going to have a bad stretch, and I think this year it's just the start of the season for us, and where most years it's probably in June or July or even August, and people don't really bat an eye at it because at that point in time you've won 70, 80 games, and you're 10 to 15 to 20 games over 500, so it doesn't look as bad. But we got a really good ball club. I think we got a lot of talent. We just got to have things go our way a little bit and just get going right here and catch a good hot streak for us.
I've got one for you. I've been polling players this week on the new rules that are being experimented in the Atlantic League. Have you seen them, first off? You heard about it?
Maybe.
Okay, so I'll help you out, because the Atlantic League, they'll use it as a testing ground. And sometimes I feel bad for the players there, because some of the rules are okay. They work out, and some of them are ridiculous. Like they tried to move the mound, which obviously there was a lot of pushback on that one. But the some of the current rules that are being implemented in the Atlantic League this season: a designated runner that can come into the game and then come out and then come back in. There is a hook rule, which means if your starting pitcher doesn't go 5 innings at least, you lose your designated hitter. So you have to put pitchers back in to hit for the rest of the game, where I guess you can pinch hit and mess around like that, but you lose your DH. And then what was the other one, Kratzy? What's the third one? Help me out.
The hook. No, the hook rule, double hook. Oh, one disengagement.
Oh, and then one disengagement instead of the current 2. So let's get your breakdown on those 3 that are being tested out right now. What do you think?
I don't mind the pitch runner. I think if it's just for catchers, it would work out, because especially with the pitch clock, in between innings, when you got a guy coming out of the bullpen or even a starter, it's hard to get dressed and get your warm-up throws in, and that guy's trying to scramble and run across the field and put all this gear on. And, so I think maybe for a catcher it might work. I think for anybody else, I'm not really for it. I think for a catcher it'd be okay. The disengagement is definitely against that. I think pitchers need a disengagement with nobody on. You're out there every 15 seconds, ripping balls, and it's not even in the middle of the summer yet. Who knows how this pitch clock is going to affect guys when it's 100+ outside and guys are sweating, and it might get crazy out there. I don't know. We'll see. And what was the last one? I forgot what was the last one.
The hook rule. So if the starter doesn't go 5, then you lose the DH.
No, I don't like that one either. I think if we're going to have a DH, let's just keep it how it is, and we'll figure it out in the bullpen after that.
Yeah, Kratzy shaking his head over here. I don't know what's going on.
Right. Listen, bud. Look. Okay. I'm here in New Jersey, and we take care of guys who are talking bad about different dudes. Like pinch hitting for your catchers? Pinch running for your catchers? What is this? High school, little league? We got courtesy runners? Like, why don't I pinch run for you when you run in from the bullpen and you get tired?
Catcher, those guys are out there squatting for 3 hours and taking balls off the knee and forearm. They could take a little break and some help out there.
I'm with you, bud. I'm with you. I don't care what he says. Get them in, get the gear on, let's go. Quickens the game for one.
They're trying to speed the game up. It's only going to help if that's what they're trying to implement.
He's just mad because he's trying to get his run scored up. And
I'm trying to get my arbitration. I'm trying to get 13, 14 runs a year, especially as a backup catcher. Come on, Helsley.
Good stuff, man.
Hey, one more for you. One more fan question. What's your shoulder arm flexibility like? Can you touch your elbows together?
Yeah, I think that's not too crazy. I think that's pretty easy. Coming up through the minor leagues, I was relatively a stiff guy, so that was something I had to work on and kind of get a routine down and, help my body stay mobile and stuff. So that's something that has kind of helped me, I think, stay healthy and get me to where I am today is a good mobility program.
Anybody have some weird flexibility, like with their, how some of the pitchers with their fingers too, they can like bend them back. And I worked with Pedro Martinez for many years, and he's just got straight Play-Doh fingers. It's ridiculous.
Not really. Alex Reyes was the only guy that I've ever seen that's like super flexible. Like that dude was so flexible and hyper mobile, I guess you would say. He had crazy mobility in like all of our testing and stuff that we would do, but nobody currently on the team right now.
Cool. Hey, Ryan, good luck out there, man. Great catching up with you. This was fun. We'll do it again in a few weeks, all right?
Thanks, brother.
Sounds good. Thank you guys.
Good talking to you.
Yep.
Appreciate you, man.